So there we are. Welcome all. I hope the live stream has now started, although I can't see it quite yet because we have this silly delay thing going on. Looking forward to my 2-hour slot. Yeah, there we go. Looking forward to my 2-hour slot here on the 72-hour live stream, which is about, I don't know, about a third of a way through so far, maybe half. So with me today, I have some special guests. I have Mr. legolamaniac, who's sitting here. You going to wave to us, legolamaniac?
Hello.
Yay. Looking very dapper in his top hat, even though it's on sideways.
Thank you.
We won't question too much about why that is, but anyway. And then Mr. Nate Dias, who is down here at the moment. Lovely chap I met during one of the UK shows last year. We sat next to each other basically on the show floor. Yes, show buddies, and we had a nice time there. So tell us a bit about yourself, Nate, because you're fairly new to the YouTube sphere, I believe.
I am. I've been on a few YouTube videos, but usually it's just my hands doing them for Lego. I don't really have a YouTube channel, but I keep hearing on other people's at the minute, so that kind of works. It saves me having to get the equipment and saves me having to build an audience. I just appear on everyone else's. And
so we do the hard work and you just kind of piggyback, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Show. That's it. It works.
Much like Vega,
I mean, I don't mind.
Cat. She just steals your show, doesn't she, most of the time?
Yeah, well, I steal her show.
Well, yeah, that's more accurate, actually. Hopefully, also, we're going to have Adora Build join us shortly, who is was on the last stream with Steve Reynolds. He did a marathon 3 hours, so good stuff that was. Managed to watch a little bit of it while I was frantically cleaning up my Lego room and setting up. Should have done it yesterday, but, you know, didn't get around to it. So I'm not...
Position high. No one can see your floor. It's fine.
Yeah, yes, we're not looking at the floor. Definitely not looking at the floor. So I'm going to be hopefully moderating the chat and also trying to get a bit more of this built. The lovely Destiny's Bounty, which I started on, I think it was Family Bricks live stream a couple of weeks ago.
I think it was. And
haven't actually touched since, to my shame. But the bits are all still in their little boxes here, so I shall get on with that. What do you guys think you're going to be doing?
Are you asking both at the same time, or?
Well, whichever one wants to butt in first, really. Oh, before you do, Adora Build has joined us. Hello, Ruth. How are you?
Ruth. Hello.
Hello.
Good, good. How many streams have you been on now?
This is the third.
Yay!
Which is really nice. I missed legolamaniacs though, because that was in the middle of the night for me. And I had to get some form of beauty sleep and make an effort.
So what have you been building so far?
I started the Disney Castle with CC, which she was, I think, the second streamer up. And I've managed to
seeing that.
Yeah, and I've managed to finish that off.
Wow.
And then with Steve's stream, I started the Disney train. So I finished the train and I will be moving on to build some of the station with you guys. So, yeah.
Nice. Good, good.
Yeah.
So, legolamaniac, what are you going to be up to?
Me? I was thinking, let's see, do I have like this thing? I have my view here. On my stream yesterday, I built some small puzzle boxes, and I have a bunch of more instructions for more puzzle boxes. So I thought I'd just continue with some of those.
Good.
See how that goes.
I love your puzzle boxes, Lamaniac.
Thanks. Although we'll be building someone else's puzzle boxes at this point, since I don't make the small ones.
No, that's cool.
What about you, Nate? What are you up to?
I'm probably going to be doing some sorting, and if I get sorted, I might build some Miniland figures. But other than that, not a lot. It's always sorting for me.
Forever sorting is the phrase, and it's also a very good podcast.
Forever sorting
with Kevin Hinkle and Bricksmith. So you might like to go and watch some of those at some point. So tell us about these Miniland figures. I know a little bit about them already, but plenty of my viewers won't, I think. So do tell us about those.
I can do. So if you've ever been to a Legoland park, you'll have seen these. I've got one here, in fact. You'll have seen these little figures. They're about 10 bricks tall, and they inhabit the Miniland areas of Legoland parks. And Fairy Bricks, every AFOL's favourite charity, or at least in the UK it is, put out, because there's no Lego events that are physically happening in the UK at the moment. They're struggling to raise funds as a charity. So they've gone out to AFOL's and said, get a sponsored event going, do whatever you like. And I decided for the month of July, I'm going to design a Lego Minilander every day of the month, try and raise funds for them. So far, it's going really well. I set a target of £100. We've raised £151 at the moment.
Wow, that's really good.
Pardon?
That's really good. Well done.
Thanks, Gaz. So far, yep, we've raised £151, so we've smashed the target. And also, I've been inundated with people nominating things. So I've set the budget as, if you donate £5 for Fairy Bricks through my link, you can choose which Minilander I make next, or in a queue. At the minute, we're about 4 days in advance. And if you make a donation of over £20, I will design it, make the instructions, and send you the bricks for it as well, so you can make it at home using the instructions that I made for you. And that seems to have worked quite well, because lots and lots of people are donating £5 so that they can see one of their favourite characters sort of brought to life in the plastic as a little Minilander.
That's a fantastic initiative. Really well done.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Do you have designs for all 30, or are you just winging it as you go along?
It's basically as I go along. So today I'll let you in behind the scenes. Today I'll be designing a Cyberman from Doctor Who, because that's the next person who gave a donation of £5 or more wanted to see a Cyberman brought to life as a Lego Minilander. So at some point today I'll design that in studio on Bricklink Studio, and then render it up for them later. The next real life one, well, I'll be doing the instructions for them, is a bit more interesting. It's going to be Frida Kahlo. So nice to do someone who's actually a real life person.
So the when you do the instructions, are they just available for the person that paid the £20, or would they be generally available later on?
I haven't really given it that much thought. I haven't thought about it until you just asked that question. At the moment, I was just doing it for a person who donated the money, but I suppose that, they could be made available, or made available if you give a donation. Fairy Bricks.
Well, I would say, definitely donate to Fairy Bricks. Maybe not the, the whole 20 quid, but...
No, definitely not the whole 20 quid, but...
Or indeed, maybe have it a little bit exclusive for a while, and then open them up to availability with a payment, a donation.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I will take that on board.
Assuming the folks that have design, assuming the folks that
do Minilanders articulate at all? Not a lot. Sorry, just his arm. So most Minilanders will have a little bit of articulation in the arm. Sometimes you can use hinge plates to make the arm articulate the elbow as well. The head will turn, but that's about it. So you have to design it with different bricks if you want them to be sat down, or kneeling, or running, or walking, or climbing a wall, or whatever you like it to be. It's sort of, you've got to think about how you're going to design that in the bricks. Yeah.
So very much a sort of static display rather than something that you could pose over and over again.
Definitely. So if you've got a pose in mind, you've got to think about that pose when you're starting it.
Sure. Cool. That sounds great. So who have you done so far?
Oh, I'm going to have to check on my phone for that. So far we have done Iron Man, a skeleton, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, Steve Backshall, David Attenborough, Bill and Ted, NHS nurses, RuPaul, and The Rock. So 10 so far. And I say today is going to be a Cyberman.
Wow. So and have you got many more?
Mix.
Have you got many more in the pipeline, or do you just wait one a day at a time?
I've got 4 in the pipeline. But what's quite nice is, as I'm doing lots of different characters, because the public are deciding on who they're doing it, on who I'm going to do that is, it opens it up to different people who may not have seen a David Attenborough one, but because of what they follow on social media, they might see the RuPaul one, and then new people see it, and then new people then donate and suggest a new character. So it's working quite well.
The ball is rolling and the snowball is getting bigger.
The ball is very, very much rolling, and it's quite good for me because I only had to come up with 2 at the start. And in fact, it turned out I didn't actually need to do that because before the first aid started, I'd got 2 donations in asking for different characters, but I did 2 in advance, just thinking it's better to be safe than sorry in case nobody donates the first few days.
Yeah.
And of course, if I do get a day where I don't get a donation, I can just make one that I quite like.
Yeah, that's really good. I've got 8 steps into building something and realised I should have been doing 2 of them, so I better go back and do that.
Well, that's the argument, isn't it? Do you do 2 at once, or do you do it once and then try and see if you can beat your time the second time?
No, not on a live stream when I'm looking at the chat. There's no hope of it.
Always build them all at once. It saves so much time. Oh, did we lose Kaz?
Oh,
well, maybe.
Maybe we have
lost Kaz.
All right,
it's our show now. Yeah. We weren't prepared for this. Yeah, well, let's say hello to chat then, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's in the chat?
There's tons of people in the chat.
Yeah.
We got ATs. We got Adorables is in the chat. Hello, Adorables. Bricks. Hello. The Daily Brick, Galgate, London Bridge Bricks. Cass is super smiley. I've seen a lot more. Oh, she left us.
Completely gone now.
I hope she can join her own stream back. RDF is here.
Really good work.
Yeah.
RDF, I didn't even see you in here today, it says. Yeah, it's now I'm in the top corner. I'm the master of this one.
I've seen Rogue Transformations in the chat as well. He's popped up. London Bridge Bricks is in the chat too.
Awesome. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hey, Lex.
Kittenville Brick. Oh, I got to check out Kittenville Brick channel. Definitely. Kittens.
Family Brick. You know Family Bricks?
I know Vega will be liking that channel as well, won't she?
Oh, yeah. Maybe she'll be jealous of the channel. It's like, another channel with cats? I'm the only cat. Brixo Studios, Brett's Builds, MLego17, hey. He'll be streaming later on. This Cashew Clicks, hello. All right, yeah. Are we supposed to be doing something, or will Cass join us later when she can?
I think that she'll pop back in when she can.
I'm just going to drop her a quick message and see if she's okay.
Yeah.
Might be her internet being funky.
Quite probably. Oh dear.
But at least since it's streaming through StreamYard, her stream is still active at least. So.
Yes.
That's true.
So it can just be joined.
She can back into StreamYard. I hope she can.
It would be weird if she couldn't. She can just follow the same link as everyone else does. So the problem is that we can't control the stream. We can't like move the cameras or anything.
No. We'll be out of control.
Stamped but not seen. Okay.
So how's everyone else been enjoying the rest of the stream? Have you guys been able to check out very many other streamers, or?
I'm afraid I've not managed to check out much at all. I've been looking after a 1-year-old.
Oh, no.
There we go. BlockHeadUK, it's all gone wrong. Internet drops out. She's back. She's back.
She is coming back. And what about you, Legolamaniac? Have you been able to check out any of the other streams, mate?
I haven't seen a lot of them since when it started yesterday. I was at work, and then after my stream, basically it was night already. So I woke up now, and maybe I'll be able to catch some more streams today at least.
Yeah, cool. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's nice to be able to have the different countries rotate through, I think.
Yeah, you don't really need to stay up for all of them. You can. There's always something to catch.
Yeah.
At some point. She is trying to come in at least, yeah. Don't worry, Cass. We'll keep the party going.
Oh,
no.
She's dropped again.
Oh. That's how technology is.
Handy, really handy.
So Jezza from Rogue Transformations is asking about my amazing train. So this is the gorgeous Disney train. So I have had both the castle and the train in their boxes for quite a while, yet waiting to be built. And in the back of my mind, I had thought, I'll try and build them on a live stream. So, you know, this 72-hour stream was a nice time to get them started. And apparently this one is all fancy with the whiz-bang functions and whatnot that you can play through the phone, use through the phone. I'm so not technological that I don't even know what terminology to use.
Oh, it's bad if you used the wrong one, obviously.
Yeah. Where is all the info?
That train is gorgeous, but I had to pass it by, unfortunately.
It's a lot of money for the train.
Yeah, both of these sets are probably they are the biggest sets that I own and the most expensive sets that I own. But as a grown up, I did not use my tax return very wisely, and this is what I spent my money on.
All the tax returns are your money. So.
Practically the same price bracket.
Yeah.
But for the same price bracket, the castle seems worth it so much more than the train.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's crazy to make it sort of a similarly priced object when the castle's just so much bigger and so much more impressive.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'd seen a lot of videos and photos and everything of the castle, but until I've actually got it now here in front of me, it is a lot bigger than even what I was expecting. So I had sort of, I'd sort of thought it would be coming up to about here, and it's still got a whole extra floor on top of where I thought it would sort of go up to. So it is a really huge build, but yeah. But I think the thing that's going to be nice with the train is that this will be my first powered train.
Well, right, yeah.
So I think
it comes with the powered up system, does it?
Yeah. It's got all the bits to go with that, which I've already put in here.
I've ordered the new that new crocodile locomotive train. But I really want to motorize it. But that powered up system is so expensive to purchase separately. So, and I basically only found it from the actual Lego store. Here it was like £50 for just the powered up module. Then you also need like a controller.
I missed out. What everybody should have done was when the app controlled Batmobile was on sale, we should have all gone out and bought those because that was the cheapest way, especially when it got discounted at the end, to get the powered up stuff.
Yeah.
I can't believe I missed out on it.
Yeah, I think even Greg from GJ Bricks quite often finds some of the older trains that have that function in them and looks around when they're on sale or getting a bit discontinued, and usually lets some of us Australians know where to go at what shop and what price to expect. And he's done all the math for us in order to be able to figure out that that's actually a better way to get a lot of the functions.
That's very handy of them to do.
So yeah, and I've seen a few comments coming through here as well. Brett's builds, yes. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would ever be a train person, and here I am, passionately building a train and really excited about it. So,
come on, Kaz.
I may or may not be here for a while. Who knows?
Oh, there's Kaz.
Yay, she's here.
But if you like, you can just
Yay.
waffle on while I'm
Welcome
not
back,
around. It's fine.
We've been trying to hold the fort without you.
Well, at least the stream stayed up. I think
It's been full on panic here.
if I was using Hangouts, I don't think it would have done. So that's a relief.
Yeah, if you've been streaming like just directly on YouTube, it would have been shut down. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Good
so
planning.
that's a good backup thing. That's something I don't have. I think if my computer shuts down, my entire stream is gone. But
Sure. Well, unfortunately, my router is downstairs in a place which is not very nice for streaming from. So I can't actually plug in a LAN cable, which is a pain. But I don't think it was the Wi-Fi that was the issue. I think it was the whole flipping connection to the internet that went wrong. So
yeah.
Hello. Anyway, what have you been up to while I was away, children?
Strangely enough, discussing trains.
So how are you liking the big Disney one, Ruth?
It's a very nice looking train. I was just actually saying that this is only the second train that I've built and probably the first really fancy one that I've got my hands on. But much like Brett's build has hinted at, I think it's just going to be a slippery slope. So I do still have the Hogwarts Express to build, which I would like to power up, much like what you did as well, Kaz.
Yeah, that's been one of my most popular videos of all things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that might have been one of the first videos that I actually saw of yours.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'll probably go back to that video when I need to power up my own.
Yes. And I've just now got a Twitter message from Nate asking if I'm all right. Thank you.
I think it's time to come through.
My notifications are just so slow. It's ridiculous. But the stupid thing is, of course, when I'm not streaming, everything's fine.
Of course.
Nothing goes wrong. Well, very little goes wrong. And when it matters, it all goes pear-shaped. Never mind.
It's always the way.
We are here. So when's Ruth's first inaugural stream on her own going to be?
Well, hopefully soonish, because I've always been a bit wary of the technology, as most of you are aware of. I'm not that great when it comes to technology.
I can't do technology today. I shouldn't worry.
But I've absolutely been loving streaming. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to have to try and bite the bullet, figure it out, and just get on with it.
Well, honestly, StreamYard is really straightforward. I mean, I'd only ever done it with Hangouts until a few weeks ago when I did some tests with my tech consultant in the corner here, Mr. Legolamaniac. And he talked me through a few things. So it was really helpful to have that kind of insider, I've done this thing before kind of knowledge. So that was really helpful.
Yeah.
Although I've never used Streamlabs, but...
Well, you haven't, but you've used plenty of other things which are similar, so it's good enough.
General tech.
I don't really call myself a technophobe, but if things aren't straightforward and you have to look for something that's not obvious, then I get a bit cross with that.
Yeah, I think that's the same with me. A lot of the time it just doesn't make sense in my head unless someone can show me.
Yeah.
Or, explain it to me in a non-tech way.
Sure. I mean, it's a great shame, really, because the Hangouts integration with YouTube was perfect, and loads of people got on, and it was really straightforward. You push one button, you invite people, that was it. But now that you can still stream with Hangouts, but only as a single entity, I think. You can't have guests on, which is a bit of a pain.
There is something new that might be able to use. I just haven't looked into it. Isn't that something like Google Meet or something? Maybe that could be used. I'm not sure.
Well, possibly. I've used Google Meet for talking to other people who, during lockdown once or twice, but not. I didn't think of that as using it for streaming. So.
No, we use it for our meetings at work while we're in lockdown, but I wouldn't imagine that. not even thought about using it for streaming.
Actually, thinking about it, it might have been my antivirus software updating or something stupid that caused the blockage. It seems to want to do it at the most inconvenient time, basically.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I think I have that exact same issue with most of my things.
Let's see what's happening in the chat. Is that Pucky having a good old go?
Yeah, he's just outside, so I've just got to go and let him in now. He just
a lot of the chat is ribbing me for having disappeared from my own stream, which is fair enough. You try it, folks. That's all I'll say. You try it. Oh dear. Right. Well, I'm starting to build 2 dragon heads for my my build. I don't think I've shown people online apart from the 4 on the stream. So I'm building, or continuing to build, Destiny's Bounty from the Lego Movie 1. Was it? Can't remember.
Ninjago movie.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, yeah. One of them. There's so many. It was a really lovely set, and I'm hoping to put it to go with my my ever expanding Ninjago district. I started that on the Family Bricks stream a couple of weeks ago and haven't touched it since. So we're on bag 9 of 18, I think, which is
nice. I've decided that I'm going to take apart and sort my lockdown mosaic because, let's face it, the rainbows are coming out of the window.
Yeah.
I think we sorted back away and used something nicer one.
I'm looking for gold bananas now.
Isn't everybody?
Well, probably. One thing I didn't really appreciate is just how big this thing's going to end up.
It does look rather large. I don't think I've seen it in people's hands before.
Yeah, sitting here wondering if I've got room. Something's got to go.
Ninjago district.
Pardon?
Take up quite a large area of your Ninjago district.
It will, yes, it will.
Nikamore says, I love your Ninjago district more than any other I've seen, Kaz.
Oh, thank you very much, Nikamore. That's very kind of you.
It is amazing.
So. I will fully admit it's getting a bit out of hand, but, you know, that's how things go, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing having enjoy something.
Yes, I mean, my main city is very much smaller than it was. In fact, you probably see little bits of it behind me. That's about all there is now. There used to be a whole table over just out of shot that you can't see, which had more monorail running around it and a fair and all sorts of things. And it was just a massive area that got very dusty very quickly. And I was kind of, once I built it and looked at it for a while, I kind of thought, I'm not right happy with it. So I decided to take it apart to free up the space for other things which will hopefully be coming soon, but I can't say anything until some stuff arrives from Log Bulk.
Secrets.
Which we haven't even had the bill for yet, so how long that will be is anybody's guess.
If you're in a better lug, like we've already had our delivery 3 weeks ago. So
shush you.
Okay.
I'm not rising to your northern bait.
Just to rub it in further, our project support is getting delivered on Monday.
I hate you, Nate.
That was ordered way after Lug Bulk.
I hate you.
Be nice.
Sorry. No hate on this stream. I love you, Nate. You're lovely.
I love you too, Kaz.
I'm so glad.
I'm neutral.
The sincerity is oozing from both of us. So what are you folks building with your project support, or why can't you tell us?
We've got 3 projects. I'll let you know. I don't know if we've put it out publicly yet, but we've got a large castle with village and battle and down to a coast scene coming out. We've got a lenticular mosaic gallery, and we've got our own little royal garden show. So,
wow,
3 rather different projects, so that members
first,
could
folks.
pick and choose what they want to get involved with.
You heard it here first.
You what? Sorry, Ken?
You heard it here first.
We'll probably do a public post at some point saying what we're up to. We don't want to reveal any of the builds until they're all ready together. The issue is, of course, we would like to exhibit them at the show this year, but chances are that might not happen.
No. Well, I've only been in the London AFOLs since November 2017, and in that time we have never done any projects big enough to warrant project support. So I don't know what the process is with that, but some of our members are doing a collaboration. It was initially going to be for Scareback, but I don't think anybody's going to skip. Any of the our UK people are going to Scareback this year, sadly. And they're hoping to do it at Steam in October, but again, I don't know whether that will happen. So, but they're doing.
Yeah, well, I think quite a lot of the AFOL community is looking to Steam to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a benchmark with it being one of the biggest events in the UK. Like seeing whether that gets pulled or not will say a lot for I think the rest of the shows for the rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Shildon's being pulled, but that's rather with it being a free entry show, it's huge anyway. So that's probably a sensible move.
It has been pulled, has it?
Yeah, it got cancelled. I think last week.
Oh, they haven't told me yet. I'll have to be having words with that McGee bloke. It's all right. I frequently have words with that McGee bloke, don't I? We're good friends.
I mean, he told me to let you know. It's my fault that you don't know. That's it.
Yes. Take the blame. Go on.
It's what I do.
He'll owe you several pints after that.
Don't let her bully you around, Nate.
Not me.
It's all right. I get used to it in this community.
Actually, to be fair, I don't think I'd actually formally applied for Shildon yet, although McGee was going to bully me into going whatever, so, you know. It's,
exactly.
No surprise. Talking of events, we're and McGee, in fact, we're hosting an online event for UK AFOLs the end of this month called Bricks at Home, which is over 2 days, the last Saturday and Sunday of the month. And it's a bit like a glorified Lego user group meetup in that we're going to have lots of people on Zoom, and there'll be presentations throughout the day in various chunks on different themes.
I was looking at the lineup the other day. It looks quite good.
Yeah.
But I had to have a little laugh to myself in that the majority of things are being run by non-Brick Alley and non-London AFOL members. It was quite good.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's only 2 London AFOLs presenting, which is fine. But you know, I thought there might be more.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on behind the scenes as well. So you know, it's not just about
of course
who's in front of the thing at any one time. In fact, I think one thing that Richard would quite like is more people to help do the emceeing for a slot. So effectively run that particular hour. So in every hour, there's about 4 different people presenting, and so they'll get 10 minutes to do a quick presentation and 5 minutes to answer questions from the chat, and then there'll be the next person. So, as I was explaining in the previous stream, actually with Steve and his friends there, the London AFOLs have been holding Zoom meetings recently, and we've got, you know, sometimes we've had 40-odd people on a call.
Yeah.
So what we've basically done is usually a presentational type thing where one person speaks for a little bit to everybody, and everybody else is on silent, muted, so that they can't be chatting in. And then there'll be Q&A by asking questions within the text chat, and then there'll be one person sort of moderating those questions to the person presenting. And I think it helps because with that number of people, if you just let everybody talk all the time, it's utter chaos and nobody's
it'd be quite a mess.
So you know, And at times we've had breakout rooms on Zoom where after our initial little chat about whatever the subject is, we'll then get randomly assigned to breakout rooms by the Richard, the person running it, different Richard. And then we've got sort of 5 to 10 people who can all talk together whenever they want and just have a little chat. It was a bit like the group of people around a table in the pub, apart from the fact that you get randomly assigned to whoever you're sitting with virtually, if you like. But that's worked reasonably well, and we're doing another one this coming Monday, in fact. I need some help, actually, with that one.
I can't help you. This Monday is the Northern Brickworks meet. Ours is every other Monday at the minute.
No, I don't mean that. The theme for Monday's meetup is Bionicle.
Oh, great.
So we've been sent...
I don't have any Bionicle, I'm afraid.
Each of us who are participating have been sent a random selection of Bionicle. And I'm just looking at it going, what do I do with this?
Where are the studs?
Exactly. I mean, there are pinholes. That's not so bad, but... Oh, man. And, you can
do it, Cass. You managed to integrate, what was it, Clickits into your stuff?
And Snap. And Snap, yeah.
And Snap, yeah.
Yeah, I know I can, but it's just a case of getting my head in the right thinking mode by Monday, and I'm not sure if I can or not. And some of these bits I've had for a while, and some I got sent through the post the other day, which was quite nice. This is quite interesting. It's it's not Bionicle at all, actually. It's Insectoids. An Insectoid's leg. Now, unfortunately, I've only been sent one, but I'm thinking if I buy many of these, so maybe a dozen or something, that would make a really interesting structural element for maybe the outside of a Micropolis warehouse or something. So that was just me faffing about with a few parts, seeing what I could, how I could attach it to system, because everything has to go back to system. I'm comfortable with system. Anything else is just a bit.
Ingrid Wynn asks, is that a brick-built Lego sign behind you, Nate?
Oh, no, it's a plastic. In fact, I'll try and...
Ooh.
It's a lovely illuminated sign from an old toy shop. That, I was lucky enough to be able to buy quite cheap, so happy with that.
That's neat.
We don't need it on at the minute. Yes, if it was brick built, I'd be very impressed. Sadly, it's not.
Maybe that's your next challenge, Nate.
I've got quite a lot of red and yellow. No, I haven't got yellow. I've got red and white 2x4s in bulk. Not got many black or yellow though, but I might give it a go.
Yeah. Well, either that, or you'll probably just sit there cursing me.
One or the other. Definitely.
Cursing people. I was going to ask before I was unceremoniously dumped by my own internet. Have you had any suggestions for your Miniland figures to build that you thought, oh God, how the hell am I going to do that?
Yesterday's, to be honest, it was The Rock.
Okay. He's a wrestler, isn't he?
For a lot of people.
Is he a wrestler?
Well, the issue is...
He was a wrestler.
Sorry? He was a wrestler, yeah. He was a wrestler. He's now Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and he's an actor. Okay. In inverted commas. The issue is that the guy who nominated him is an old colleague of mine who loves wrestling, so I knew that he wanted him as The Rock, as the wrestler, which, when you've got a lot of people or a lot of characters, you can rely on their costume or their outfit to sort of give away who they are. Like Bill and Ted, it's definitely their costume that gives away who they are more than what their facial features are. But of course, The Rock, when he's in the wrestling ring, only wears some black boots, some black white fronts, and a couple of armbands. So to make him recognisable while he's just in his undies is a bit of a trick. I think I got there. I've had some nice compliments and some nice feedback on it, so I was impressed in the end.
Do they know it's him, or do they just think it's an interesting guy in some undies?
People have said that he was instantly recognisable as The Rock, so I was impressed by that.
I think you've got it then, haven't you?
Especially as The Rock is now bald, so I couldn't even give him a hairdo to make him more recognisable. Like, everything about it just went generic man in underpants.
Just naked ABS.
Yes.
You can build him as the Scorpion King from The Mummy 2. Oh,
the CGI in that was awful, wasn't it? The Rock's best performance ever.
Oh yeah.
I've now got to try and put these dragon heads on in the right place. Hello.
I know, I just had to go really quiet to do stickers.
Can't talk and stick at the same time.
Takes all your focus.
Oh, hi, Sarah Starbricks. Nice to see you again. She's in the comments.
Hey, Sarah.
Yes, hello,
How's it
Sarah.
going?
Did you use the Brick Bakery soapy water trick, Ruth?
No, just focus.
Fair enough. It has 2 dragon heads.
That's very nice.
That's all I've done so far in 40 minutes. Shocking. Never mind.
So I had to abandon one of the puzzle boxes I built because suddenly it came. Suddenly it said, "Yeah, take a 1x3 brick and just break off the bottom tubes."
What?
What?
No.
So I didn't do that.
No, don't blame you.
Bye.
I'm under the. I sort of have the rule that as soon as you have to modify Lego bricks in order to build your puzzle box, then there's no point in building it out of Lego anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you could have made the puzzle box out of anything. You know, like metal engineering or woodworking. You could 3D print it. Sort of the challenge for me is to work within the Lego system to build a puzzle box that works very well. When you suddenly have to start breaking the under tubes.
I mean, possibly controversial. I do cut base plates just to get enough studs to fit an awkward shape, but
it's fine. Aren't base plate not made by Lego anyway? They're like third-party company thing, which.
Oh, it doesn't matter then, does it?
Yeah.
If it's not born in Billund, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
No, actually, also when I was doing the House of Dots with the lovely Libor and Peter from Kladno and all our other AFOL friends, they were cutting base plates to apply to the furniture. So if anybody starts, I'll go, well, you know, folks from Lego cut base plates, so it's good enough for me. That was a crazy project. My God. The worst part was getting up at 5 o'clock every morning to be at the other side of London by 8:30.
But you got to play with Lego all day, and I'm sure they were covering expenses, so it's a good way to spend a day. Yes,
it was. It was a good way to spend the day, but not being a morning person, in fact, being very much not a morning person, the 5 o'clock alarm call for work just hideous. And
You've
also,
dropped on well with your slot for the 72-hour live stream, then.
Sorry?
You've dropped on well with your slot for the live stream today, then.
I was very canny, mate, I tell you. I looked at the running order and I thought, when am I going to have a nice leisurely get up and not panic about stuff?
I like your style, Kaz.
The worst part was the fact that it was January and it wasn't dark until I'd almost got to where I was going. Sorry, it wasn't light until I'd almost got to where I was going. So seeing sunrise in Uxbridge was just something that I never thought I'd say had happened to me, basically. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Uxbridge, but getting to Uxbridge from where I am was a royal pain in the neck. And I think we talked about this before, didn't we, Nate?
Yeah, I think it was on Family Bricks live stream.
I mean, I don't actually live in London. I've got to go all the way around it or through it to get to Uxbridge.
I always thought you were in London.
No, I'm in Essex, which is half an hour by train before you get to London. And that's only Liverpool Street, which is the wrong side of London.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, some people drove and I thought, well, the M25 at that time in the morning is no better, frankly, and I'll be half asleep anyway and probably a liability. So I figured it was best for me to snooze on a train rather than snooze behind the wheel of a car.
Probably better, yeah. Oh, sorry. Pop some plates away.
And then it was a half-hour walk from the from the station to where we were working as well. So we had a lovely time.
You definitely have got an Uber for it, surely, from the station to the place.
A bus? No, it was on an industrial estate, and it would still have been a 10-minute walk from the nearest bus stop. So
no, get an Uber.
I don't do Uber. I'm sorry.
I was a big advocate for taking the train. That the train is so much better for long distance journeys. You just get on the train and then you're there.
Yeah.
But I regularly took the train to go to a cabin trip at my friend's cabin, and it was like a 6-7 hour train ride.
Yeah.
And the last few times I had to take that, there was always an issue with the train being either delayed, having engine troubles along the way, you're just breaking down altogether. There was one we had to. It was a night train, which broke down at the beginning of the journey. So we had to wait on the train for 6 hours until they could get a bus to come and fetch us and then drive us the rest of the way.
No.
Wow.
Oh, no.
And one time the train just didn't come with no message as to why. Because the train station... Since the train station nearest to the cabin is like in a really remote place, it had no information or anything. So it's just like a really rural train station. So it just stood there and like, all right, where is it? It never came. And ever since those issues, are like, I'm just going to rent a car and drive up to the cabin.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to sit for 8 hours at night just waiting for something that I don't know even if it's going to come.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much an advocate for using public transport where I can, but having commuted into London for 10 years of my life, I know how bad that could have been on was on a regular basis. And, the age-old excuse, the train was late, didn't come, cancelled while I was sitting on it, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's from somewhere relatively built up to somewhere relatively built up. So I can't imagine what it would have been like to try and sort that out to somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
My issue is just the cost of getting the train in the UK.
Yeah, that too.
Ridiculous.
It is not cheap. And I'd be more than happy to use it if it was cheaper and more reliable. But when neither of those are true, it's just...
Well, I'm lucky enough. I live in a small town in the Midlands, but we're on the East Coast main line, so I can get into London in like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
so it takes
when
me
I'm
that
looking at least £100 to get there and back, it's not worth it unless someone else is footing the bill for me and paying my expenses, which I would gladly do it then. But it's got to be a really good reason for me to pay £100 to get to London.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, as I said, I'm 30 minutes from London. And if I go off peak and buy a travel card, which does everything, so I get the underground as well, it's about £25 off peak. It's about £35
a minute.
Sorry?
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
So it gets a bit cheaper if you buy a season ticket for a week or whatever, but sometimes you don't know that you're going to be doing that for that length of time, and other times you think, well, I'll try it, but if everything goes pear-shaped, am I going to want to go in again? So
yeah,
it's all pretty tiring. There. Now I've just dropped some studs on the floor. Excuse me.
Mama's Bricks is asking Ruth when you're going to stream yourself. I think we discussed it earlier, but you can. Take it away.
No pressure. I'll just have to have a look at dates and times, but I think it might be quite nice to try and maybe do like a monthly stream. But we'll make it fortnightly depending on how I go, but try and maybe do more of a regular time. But I don't really want to clash with other people's streams either, so I'll just probably have to do a little bit of a look round. Well,
it's almost impossible not clashing with others, so shouldn't sort of pay attention to that too much.
No, but if you want to cater more for your Aussie audience, you're unlikely to clash much with anybody else in the northern hemisphere.
But then I'll be sad because I can't join.
Well, there is that. You have to ask Mum and stay up late, especially.
All right.
Early.
I do have some Aussie subscribers, but actually most of my subscribers and viewers are usually from the Northern Hemisphere anyway. So that's more where I was sort of thinking, yeah, trying to figure out what suits them, suits me, works for both of us.
Yeah.
Around this hour would be nice, actually.
Yeah.
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 Like, early. It would be like Saturday morning breakfast TV.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, this time is a really nice time for me as well because it's just in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Sorry.
we might decide it.
Sarah Starbrick says she's not a morning person either. The Germans have a word for us. It's Morgenmuffel, which means somebody who actually hates mornings.
What?
Morgenmuffel. Go look it up. It's a word. So we have night owl in English, but there's no analogous word for someone who hates mornings, I don't think. You just
I'm
say,
not going to look it up. You provide the sources for your statements, Kaz.
"You excuse me a little bit, won't you? I'll be looking things up."
I think but Chop kept on teasing Sarah Starr that she's Garfield because she hates mornings.
Yeah.
But I'm not much of a morning person either. I'd much prefer to be up in the evening.
RDF says, I knew when I got back to the stream that he would be talking about trains. How did you know? Who told you?
So, Mr. Lego Maniac,
What?
I'm about to post something in the live stream, a link.
Uh-oh.
He thinks I made it up.
All right. You actually did
In
provide
fact,
source.
someone else probably made it up, but it wasn't me. Morgenmuffel, someone who is in a bad mood in the morning and does not like to wake up early. There you go.
The German language has words for everything.
Yes. Luftkussenfahrzeug's my favourite. It's a hovercraft. Luftkissenfahrzeug, it's a hovercraft.
Careful, we might be censored.
Luftkissenfahrzeug, lift cushion going thing. Hovercraft. Makes sense,
Well,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I do like it when words like that make sense. It happens so rarely for me. Right, on to bag 10.
MG is trying to find Nate Diaz's YouTube channel, but there's a boxer with the same name, so he has no luck.
Yeah, and also I don't have a YouTube channel, so that won't work.
That might contribute to the issue.
Well, you're Nate Dyer's 88 everywhere else, so why not have that one?
Or Lego Teacher, or I exist in many forms.
Yes. The multifunctional Nate Dyers.
Have a look for me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I exist on there. I don't exist on YouTube yet. I just come and hang around with people who do.
YouTube's all a fantasy anyway. Nobody exists on YouTube. Oh, I've got to do some stickers. Oh
no.
Oh, so
you can try the soap trick.
Like loads of people are watching you.
Yeah, Ingrid, I think, was talking. What's the soap trick in the chat? And basically, our friend Jacob from the Brick Bakery found some advice buried somewhere deep on the Lego website. It's actually advice from Lego that if you take a tiny little bit of washing liquid like you'd use for washing the dishes, just a tiny drop of it in a bowl of water, you get an ever so slightly soapy dishwater dish. and you dab a tiny piece of it onto the thing that you're trying to put your sticker on. You put your sticker on, and then you can move it for a limited period of time, but you can basically reposition it so that you can get things straight. And it's not something I've tried because I tend to use a brick separator, which I do find is helpful.
I was going to say I use the brick separator.
Yeah. But if you're really, really terrible at putting stickers on, then try the soapy frogs, as I call them, the soapy dishwater technique, and you can reposition things so that if you've done it wrong, it's not the end of the world.
I must say I tend to not put stickers on, if I'm honest.
Well,
which I know for some sets would be sacrilege, but others, it still kind of works.
It depends. I mean, if the set looks a bit stupid without them, I tend to put them on, and if I know I want to keep it built.
If we're looking at something like Hogwarts Castle, you've got to put the stickers on that, because there's so many lovely little bits in the stickers, and also it would look quite bare without it.
Yeah.
The mirror needs to have
quite good stickers as well. Welcome to Euphoria. Where did I get the Lego sign? That guy was from a man who used to run a Lego shop, like not an official one, of course, and he sold it to me when he shut his shop.
A small independent toy shop who's gone bust, or
a small independent toy shop that, of course, has shut. Like the small independent toy shop in my town shut last year, sadly.
Oh no!
It's a sad day.
Happening
belly up.
Ooh. Bricks in Lithuania. How can you use brick separator to apply stickers? Use the nice thin end of it, pop the sticker on there, and sort of hover it above the brick.
I'll show you in a minute when I get to that bit.
As we'll show you. There you go.
That also solves the issue of fingerprint on transparent stickers.
Yes. Good point.
Definitely.
You don't get the fingerprint on the underside when you lift it up. I once saw some sort of time-lapse stop motion video of someone building a set, and they had to put a sticker on, like a canopy of a spaceship or something.
Yeah.
And there was no talking in this video, but it showed an image of the canopies completely submerged in water, and then with the stickers on. Oh. And I really, this was a long time ago before I really knew much of any techniques for Lego. If I knew about the soap technique, I would have sort of assumed it was that, but I had no idea why is the canopy submerged in water to apply the stickers? Does that help in any way? And I had to search it up online, and all I found was a forum post asking someone about that video specifically. Hey, I saw this in this video. What does that do? And it was all speculation in that forum thread about why and why not. There was no specific, and to this day I have no idea why the entire thing is submerged. But I can only assume it's the same sort of thing with the soap, that it is actually soapy water and they've just submerged it. And it might help with removing bubbles from transparent stickers or something like that while applying it, since there would be no bubbles underwater.
Well, the way I look at it is being a engineer and physicist sort of background, is also to do with surface tension, and might get a bit technical, but you're here to be entertained and educated, possibly.
No, not learning.
So soap bubbles, dish soap basically reduces surface tension in water, which is why you get the froth. Normal water doesn't bubble very easily, but you need surface tension to make bubbles, and it all helps to sort of make it nice and slippery, literally. So when you've got the surface of your element that you want to put the sticker on, obviously the sticky stuff on the back of your sticker wants to stay where it's put straight away. But just by having a tiny layer of either water or soapy water, there's enough sort of slickness underneath, enough slipperiness that you can shift it around. And then, but I mean, I don't think I want to submerge something, because that probably would be too much water in my book. But it might be due to bubbles. It may well be due to bubbles, actually. But certainly just putting them on a tile like this, you only dab a very, very slight amount of the liquid onto it so that eventually it evaporates, even though it's under the sticker. But you don't want it sopping wet, because that will take ages and ages to dry and might affect the sticker. But most of these stickers are made from vinyl, well, sort of vinyl-ish coating on the top of them. And, you know, you can wash old stickered Lego bricks for a short time without the stickers going nuts. So they are sort of waterproof for a while. And the sort of time you're talking about for applying a sticker like that, it's fine. It's not going to hurt it. And if Lego says it's fine, then, you know, I kind of believe them. But the bubble issue may well be the truth for why they want to submerge the whole canopy. I don't know for sure.
Get rid of air bubbles, I think, and then more easily push the water underneath the stickers away while applying it. Might be something like that, and then you get like a much cleaner look of the actual windshield type.
Yeah. So applying these stickers with a thing, I tend to get the sticker sheet and basically get the thin end just under usually the longest edge of the sticker. Just hold it on with your thumb like that. So you've basically got the sticker stuck to the thing. Doesn't have to be straight on that, as long as you can move it around. And then I get the tile that I'm going to put it on. Oops, there we are. And just, I'm not sure how easy this is going to be so you can see it, but just by having it hovering like this, you can just effectively put a very slight pressure on that bit. And then when you think you've got it right, start peeling it down from there. Don't know how well people saw that, but there we go, and it's on straight. Now trying to do that with your finger sticks to it. You get finger marks on the sticker if it's a transparent one, or you leave fingerprints on the underside of the sticker, which means over time that can become less sticky because of the finger grease that isn't good for sticker stickiness. So once again, take the sticker like that, and doing it slightly cack-handed here, but there we are.
Yeah, you sort of get a little bit more control when using it.
Although having said that, I've just messed that up badly because I was doing it on an angle. So again, if you haven't pushed it all down until you're absolutely sure it's in the right place, you've got a little bit that you can get back underneath the sticker and reposition it like that, which is much better. Voila.
RDF said that a tweezer would also work.
It does, but I find that they can be a bit sharp. And I tend to, if I'm not careful, I tend to sort of stab the thing.
Or scratch it, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying hello in chat. Yeah.
Good.
Nate is muted, so we don't know what he's doing.
So I was just saying, you don't get a pair of tweezers in your Lego sets, but you do get a brick separator.
Indeed.
Also very true.
I guess, it depends on the type of tweezer. You do have those very sharp type tweezers, but
yeah, you can.
I do have tweezers for stamps.
Yes,
those are more gentle and flat, and also like rounded at the tip.
Yeah.
So those might work well.
Also true. So talking of annoying things, but not telling you to make enough things, there's a part of the instructions here that says, make 2 of these. And then you do a few more things, and it says, now you need 2 of the whole thing. So in fact, I need to make 4 of these. Why didn't you tell me to make 4 of these to start with? I should have guessed.
It's in the middle of making the 4.
I should have guessed because I've only used half the stickers. Anyway, enough moaning on my part. Let's get on with it.
Get on with it.
Just get on with it. So how are your puzzling boxes going, Legolamaniac?
It went better yesterday.
Have you got to the designs which are slightly questionable now?
Yeah. Especially the ones that's like, just dismantle your bricks and.
No. Just hack this brick to pieces. Nobody will care.
Moto is in the house. Hello, Moto.
Hello, Moto.
Looks like the morning US crowd are starting to join and say hello to our Euro friends.
Yay.
I guess the East Coast is starting to wake up.
Indeed. Welcome to Euphoria says, have I seen Robin Hood Bricks video about changing and fixing stickers? I have. His patented hot tea technique. I tend to find that my tea goes down my throat rather quicker than is required for his patented hot tea technique, so it never gets done. But that's certainly a really good thing to do if you've got a second-hand set, which you've got stickers on that are, you want to remove or whatever. Not so much for putting new stickers on, definitely, but moving and removing old stickers for either reuse or just getting them off cleanly. That is a really good technique. So go have a look at Robin Hood Bricks channel and search for patented hot tea technique, and he has done a whole video about that now, which is really good. He also gives some really good tips about how to clean up the old glue. He'll use just very gently scrape all sort of hairy bits and nasty stuff that might have stuck to the underside of a sticker, an old sticker, how to remove them with a razor blade very carefully. And then just put I think he puts a tiny dab of something like Pritt stick under it. If it's got no stick at all after that procedure, he'll put a tiny bit of Pritt stick on it, which seems to be sufficient if there's already a bit of stick elsewhere, but just maybe one corner's coming up. So that's useful.
Oh.
Bye-bye, Bricks in Lithuania. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Building Nick's trying to persuade me, but they tell you right at the beginning that you need to build yeah, they only tell me to build 2 and then 2 more. So, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Is it is the 2 other ones mirrored?
No.
Or something?
No.
Really?
RDF has said something quite enigmatic. Oh, my dang neighbour is back with his plane. Catch you in 20 once he's landed.
What?
What?
Obviously.
What?
What's the issue with that? I don't.
Maybe he's just too busy watching the plane land. Who knows? Or maybe, now here's a postulation. Maybe he's a reserve fireman and he's gone to do his duty on the runway. Sorry, I just made that up. Complete and utter. Sarah Starbricks likes my tea goes down my throat quickly. It doesn't touch the sides, missus. Just straight down. I'm sorry. But... Sarah Star says, what is Nate Dias working on?
I've just remembered that I got a parcel the other day with some mixels in, so I thought I could give them a build. So I'm just putting together some mixels.
So you're unmixing the mixels?
Unmixing the mixels. I just quite like this series. It's the ones that are very sort of steampunky. They've got lots of cogs and metallic bits on them.
I completely
lovely little parts packet.
The mixels completely passed me by because I was big into Dark Ages at that point. But they do look like. I mean, the ball joint is very useful. I've used those other things, but haven't really explored the rest of the parts in any great detail.
Well, to be honest, I would like to see them come back because they were great little parts pack for the price price point they were at was about £3.
Yeah. And
you're getting probably between 70 and 100 pieces in that.
Wow, that's very good.
In a nice little, I might be over exaggerating there, but it feels like a lot of pieces. Well, there's one, which is more Brikx than you get in a poly bag.
Yeah,
but less than a small £10 set. But for £3 at that price point, I thought it was amazing. And sadly, I didn't really see them for what they were when they were out. I think when they were actually being released, I only got 2 or 3, and probably because they were on sale.
Yeah. Are there many available now, as sort of second-hand stuff, or available new or not?
There's quite a lot available second-hand, but definitely not the earlier ones. The earlier ones go for stupid amounts of money because quite a few of them had elements in them that have only been produced for Mixels. They weren't available in anything else. So as collectors, those ones go for silly amounts of money. And also, if you just want some of the parts that were available, that for example, I think these bushes, I might be wrong now saying it, but these bushes, there was one in series 1 of Mixels available in yellow, and I think that's the only place that you could get it.
Wow.
So at that point, for a £3 little set, it was well worth getting, because I think that element alone now is worth more than you would have paid for the Mixel.
Yeah, definitely.
I met the designer of Mixels a few years ago.
I wish I'd have bought them all when they were out. Like, as I say, they were quite cheap. Oh, welcome to Euphoria, Nate Diaz. There was a Lego staffer at the Lego store in Leicester Square who made a great chameleon. He'd used the eyes out of Mixels. Looks great. Yeah, to be honest, this particular eye would be brilliant for a chameleon.
Yes.
It's lovely.
I made a custom brick
just the little 1x1 tiles.
This is a custom brick head I made with those eyes. I call him the voyeur. He's got a pair of binoculars and he's like spying on his neighbours. Don't know what the carrot's doing, but that's, needed something to hold in the other hand.
Nice.
The family show, Kaz. Come on.
That's all I've said. They'll have to look up what voyeur means, won't they?
Hopefully they don't. Yeah, if they already know what it is, then that's their
then
fault,
it's not my fault. Right, all my stickers are on. Well, all my stickers for that bit are on. So how many of these am I going to need? So I need... I don't understand.
Don't break down, Kaz.
I just had one of those moments of I don't understand as well.
Well, it's partly because I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing. I'm talking to you folks, which is the whole point of this stream. So I'm not moaning about that, but it's then moaning about my incompetence at being able to sort out what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I think I've sussed it, actually. Maybe. So those of you with YouTube channels, what's coming up on your channels in the near future? Ruth?
So I think my next video will be about all the Series 2 Dots bracelets. So just another big overview, especially looking at some of the parts and the tiles and all of those sorts of things. So that one is ready to go. So that might end up going up today or tomorrow, depending on if I get myself organised or not. And then my video after that will be my elf shelf update. So I've almost finished my second elf shelf. So I've just got to add a few more purple trees and then that's another shelf done.
Gotta love those purple trees.
Yeah, I'm all about the purple trees.
Me too. Not that I've got any, but I do like purple.
Yeah. What about you, legolamaniac? What's your plans, mate?
Yeah. I have a few time-lapse videos that will be coming out just regularly, but that's nothing special. Yeah. I was... where was I? I was thinking... No, I have a new puzzle box that should be coming out. I haven't actually filmed anything for it yet, so I have to figure out what I want to do there. I usually want to make some sort of fun video for my puzzle boxes, at least the big ones, the proper ones. And this box I've been building and working on since April, and not this April, last year's April.
Wow. Does it have a theme?
It does have a theme. I think you saw it yesterday.
We did, and I've forgotten completely what it would look like. He had that sort of round thing to it.
Yeah, this sort of round thing too. Yeah, exactly. You'll just have to see the replay of my stream if you want to see the puzzle box.
I like to be
gave a
precise.
sneak peek of. And but I also have something coming out eventually. Not entirely sure when. That has something to do with these green things in the front here.
I did wonder what they were.
Yeah.
Crystals.
They are crystals of some sort, but they are obviously not Lego. So.
Oh, well, they're obviously not Lego. I can't see it that well. Let's have a look.
Yeah, well, they're not obviously for Cass, of course. But
how do I get StreamYard to check somebody who's that one? No idea. I'm pressing buttons, but nothing's changing. Got to put my glasses on now.
Might need to like press something like commit it, or I don't know.
Well, there's all these layout buttons underneath.
Yeah.
But maybe I've got to drop. No, that doesn't look like that will work. Have I got to drop that on there? That won't drag. How do I select? Ooh. Oh, haha! Solo layout. There we go.
Oh, what are they?
Ooh.
So here's some crystals. So
Are they plastic?
they are plastic. The hint for what's coming is here with this actual Lego crystal, and the fact that these are well, what should I say? Homemade.
Ooh, 3D printed.
No, they are not 3D printed.
You're being very enigmatic.
Are you making a giant version of the crystal element?
Ooh, Nate deals with some guesses.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what's coming.
It'll be cool to see.
Yeah. So obviously, the most important Lego element ever produced is this. This guy.
Obviously, yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, while we've got you on the big screen, can you demonstrate what your ring does, please?
My ring does not much. Let's see.
Finger exercises.
Sure. I only wish the wheel turned when I did this. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't
cool.
it? Very nice.
Robin Hull is here with the guest that I'm making kryptonite.
Yay, Robin.
Alexander68C is here. Hello. All right, yeah, awesome. And
hi, Robin Hull. Robin's one of the people who's donated to Fairy Bricks for the Miniland builds.
Excellent.
Awesome. Robin Hull is an excellent guy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it coming out of my channel. I'm tiny or a little bit thinking about making some tutorial videos about puzzle making. But I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to make videos or maybe just do like a live stream show where I demonstrate some techniques I used in my puzzle boxes, building techniques.
That would be nice. I think maybe you could have interaction while you're
more
going.
Interactive that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not much of an, I have troubles just talking when there's no one to talk to. So I would have trouble just making videos where I talk to no one. So possibly do more just live stream it and then interact and talk to people. Can demonstrate.
You mean you don't like screaming into the void?
Exactly. But I also I've collected parts for a huge puzzle box by a guy called Andrew Parr, who made a puzzle box called the Grandpa's Gramophone. And I'm going to build that one. And I was thinking of doing solving that in like a video, so you get like the entire video trying to solve it. And
that would be fun.
That's cool.
It's pretty large. It's 24 by 24 size, so it's much larger than my big puzzle boxes.
Yeah. Sounds good though.
Oh, Stuart also is someone who has donated to Fairy Bricks to have a Miniland made. They're all coming in.
Yeah. Oh yes, Stubot. Hello.
Hi, Stuart.
I did put a thing on Instagram, and I know Stubot follows me on Instagram, so you may well have seen it there. I think on my channel coming up, I've actually got round to making Monday's video already, and it's good to go, which is a bit of a surprise for me. I'm normally the night before thinking, oh crikey, I haven't done anything, better do something quick. So I've got a couple of new water modules for my Micropolis layout, and then probably later on today I'm hoping to do some more filming. I've got about 3 or 4 great ball contraption modules, which I haven't. I mean, I've taken to some of them. I've taken to shows and used, but I haven't done videos for those. They're all by some, the designs are by someone else because I'm not that great a builder with Technic. But it's interesting to see how I've put my rainbow spin on things, because nothing's ever boring single color in my GBC.
I love those rainbow GBCs though, Kaz. I know that it's completely unintentional, but it warms my heart to see them.
Well, it seems to be 2 camps with that. What you might call the serious GBC builders look at it and go, what have you done? Why have you done it? And I believe there's a phrase called it's rainbow vomit or something that they call the color scheme. Charming. But on the other hand, I've had so many people at shows come up to me and say, I'm really glad you've built it like that, because it shows you can make it from any Lego that you've already got. Whereas
exactly.
Some Lego that's sort of, a beautiful GBC module that you've had to buy the specific bricks for to make the color coordinates and all that. They just look at them and they're very clever, but the punters look at them in a show and think, well, I can't build that. I can't possibly build that. It looks too professional and too complicated. Whereas they look at my rainbow vomit and go, yeah, I could do that. So, yeah, the rainbow vomit is what I say. I mean, I must, not all serious GBC builders are of that opinion by any means, but I have heard it said, and in fact, I've heard it said by one of my mates in my lug who was just tweaking me basically by calling it that, but he didn't mean it in a nasty way.
It's a lovely phrase.
Yes, it's quite sort of descriptive, really, isn't it? Unicorns have rainbow poop. Why can't I use rainbow vomit? It seems fine to me.
Hey, why not?
What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, okay. I think I'm building the cabin now.
Oh.
That's where all the nice stickers have gone.
All right, yeah.
Oh, where does that crossbow live?
RDF says your GBC is very vibrant.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, it works. It's pretty reliable most of the time. I won't go any further than that. So, and that's basically what's really important at a show. So, I don't care that it's silly colours. We were talking earlier about things that, like the mixels that we wish Lego would bring back. And I got a magazine the other day.
Oh, and it's got the cartoon with lots of a certain animal.
Now, what can we see on the cover of Lego Life, folks? What can you see?
Lots and lots of goats.
Yes. Now, if you didn't know, if you want to buy a Lego goat, which I think we're only in about maybe 1 or 2 sets from the one set.
Little Village Raid.
I defer to your greater knowledge, Nate. It was from the Castle line or something like that, wasn't it? A market or something. Anyway, goats. If you want to buy a goat now from Bricklink, they're about £25 each.
That's not too bad.
And here we've seen 5 goats. Now, why in this cartoon are Lego trolling us with goats? That's what I want to know.
I think
Well,
that's
there was
what
an advert a couple of years ago. I say a couple of years, it might have been last year, that Lego made to look like stop motion, but it was definitely Lego movie style CGI. And they put a cypress tree in it, and that got us all excited. And then no cypress tree came out. So I'm not getting too excited for the goats.
Fair enough. But I do wonder whether somebody at Lego's been trawling through the Bricklink catalogue and going, what's the most expensive single part you can buy? And then oh, let's put
That's
goats
up there. The bit that I don't understand, though,
expensive as well, aren't they?
is that the goats go for anything up to £40 now, because there was only 2 goats available in one set, whereas this cow you can get for a tenner, and exactly the same. It only came in one set, and there was 2 of them in that one set.
Well, you know why, Nate? Goats
Why is the
are
goat
cuter
worth so
than
much more than the cow?
Goats are cuter than cows.
Yeah, but cows are a lot more useful.
Not if you're
And
allergic to
tasty.
cow's milk.
They take up too
Well,
much space.
yeah, but
People don't have space
the
for cows.
majority
They have space for goats.
Anyway, I'm going to briefly blow my own trumpet with this magazine. The back page has a feature.
Yay!
4 of us who are displaying our stuff in the Masterpiece Gallery. Let's see if we can get that lined up. When it's looking back.
Look at that underwater world. That's the most important one of everything in that magazine.
Let me put myself on the big screen for a minute. There we are. No, too many fingers. Right. So this is my favourite in the Masterpiece Gallery. It's Ryan's Coral Reef, and it's just
amazing.
Just amazing.
Oh,
There's
there
all
we go.
sorts
Beautiful.
of really unusual parts usage there. Fabulous. And then there's some dogs, which are really cute, by, I think, Zio Chen from Taiwan. Then there's muggings here with Micropolis.
Where did that come from?
Oh, some upstart or other, I don't know. Now, I don't actually remember making this quote, but I must have done because they asked me for one. So, never dismiss a part until you have tried using it for something it wasn't intended for. Play with them, explore them, and see what happens.
Should follow your own advice with the bionicle stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's just I'm having a bit of a brain freeze about that. And then finally, Milan's amazing wearable suit,
All right. Yeah.
which is rather crazy.
That's cool.
So that's the current issue of Lego Life magazine, which I don't normally take because it's for kiddies, but they sent me a copy because I was in it, which was rather nice. In fact, they said, which language would you like? And I said, can I have English and Danish, please? Because I'm attempting to learn Danish, and I thought, well, if I can read a comic with the English version and the Danish version next to each other, I might stand a chance of understanding it.
That's a good idea.
So, yes. Welkom ven besuger jeg. I can't tell you what that is because I haven't looked it up. Anyway, there we are. It'd be like one word at a time. Google Translate. You know. No.
Family Bricks says it can't be Cass. It isn't Rainbow Vomit.
Oh, I beg to differ. My Micropolis is very much Rainbow Vomit. Have you not seen it? Look at it. What's that if not a Rainbow Vomit?
One of your latest buildings were a pure rainbow almost. So
It was, yes, it was. Now that's one thing I do also get when I display the Micropolis at shows is people go, oh, it's so colourful, it's really vibrant and lovely. And whilst I do really enjoy some of the Micropolis stuff I've seen that have been at shows in the States that Beyond the Brick and such like have done videos for, a lot of those are sort of what you might call more realistic colour schemes, so maybe white or grey or shades of brown or something like that. And I look at them and I think there's some really lovely designs there, but the colour schemes are sometimes so sort of dour that it's got no vibrancy about it. So then I rock up with mine and go, nah, there we are. There we are. Clearly the folks at Lego House like it, so that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What am I doing with this? Oh, I put them on the wrong way round. That's why they won't fit. Have any of you been watching the online tours around Lego House that they've been doing?
I'm afraid
No.
I have.
That would be a spoiler, since I'm planning on going there at some point.
Fair enough. Yes.
I just need an excuse to go back. I can't wait. I've not been this year. In fact, I didn't go last year, which, to say I've been about 8 times in the last 3 years, last year was definitely missing out.
Yes. Well,
you want to bring the rest of us back on screen, Kaz?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course. I'm such an amateur. Dear God. There we are.
It's fine. I don't have anything to show anymore. I built the last box I can, I think.
Okay. No, originally my models were only going to be there till September this year.
Just put
But a few weeks, well, 2 or 3 weeks ago, they sent me a message saying, "Can we keep them till September 2021, please?" I was like,
"Oh,
yeah, why not?"
That's very good.
I think it's a sensible move, really, because even if things have eased up a little bit by September, there may well be people who would be bringing their models for the new show who either can't travel or don't want to travel.
Yeah.
And it's not fair on them to say, oh well, just send us your models and we'll put them in there, because more than half the experience was actually going and setting them up yourself and having the lovely day that they put on for us and things. So that wouldn't be fair, just posting them and they're in there now. They completely miss out on that part of the thing. And also, of course, I know they will post things back to us when we've finished if we can't go and collect them ourselves, but I really wanted to go and collect my models again rather than having them put in the post and arrive in millions.
Also, I've seen how they end up posting someone's models back and it didn't end up in one piece. It wasn't nice.
No, exactly. So there was no way that I was going to be able to drive through 5 European countries in September this year, even if I was allowed to, and I'm still not convinced I'm allowed to do that at the moment, or even will we by then. So there were too many to bring on the plane. That would have been just not a lot better than having them posted to me. So basically I took them myself. I drove them out there for 2.5 day drive each way, which was immense fun but quite tiring. And that would be the plan, to go and collect them again, but like I said, not going to happen this year. So
I were planning on driving down to the Lego house, but that means I have to drive through Sweden. And we are allowed to visit Sweden, but we are put in a 2-week quarantine when we get back from Sweden.
Yeah.
Just because
Sweden's bad at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very bad there, and it's not at all bad here. So they're really, really scared of like a huge wave coming from there. So they're just they're very strict at it. Everything.
Could you not fly from Oslo to Billund?
Yeah, you could. But I would still need to. Oh yeah. That's I can fly directly to Billund. I just don't want to fly.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
I sort of almost mixed it up with my planned trip to Skarbæk.
Yes.
Because figuring out how to get there was even worse. It was like, okay, fly to Billund and then
hire a car.
Drive. Then I still needed a car or something to get over there. So I was like, yeah, probably just going to drive the entire way anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the Skarbæk isn't... what the earth am I doing here? Sorry, I think I've gone wrong. Skarbæk is happening still at the moment, but it's certainly not going ahead in the manner it did previously. I don't think it can. But for those in the chat that don't know, Skarbæk is a massive gathering of Lego fans, usually the last weekend of September in Skarbæk, which is a tiny little town about, 50 miles, maybe 80 kilometers from Billund. And Lego fans come from all over the world with their mocks and do a big show for the weekend, which is absolutely fantastic. I went last year for the very first time, and it was a really amazing experience. Again, because the people that were there, it was a really good environment and lots of things going on. But of course, you know, there were several thousand AFOLs there and several thousand members of the public coming round to visit during Saturday and Sunday when we were open for them. And there's no way that you could do that now.
No.
No.
And also all the accommodation at Scareback is basically a big conference centre with lots of log cabins on site or very close to the site. And you can hire these that sleep, I don't know, 5 to 7 people or something. And last year, a group of us from the London AFOL shared a cabin. It was fine. I came back with a stinking cold from my cabin mate who had a stinking cold when she got there. But a cold is one thing, but, you know, lots of people sharing a tiny cabin who are not from the same family is really not going to happen either. So I don't know.
Convention sick.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to manage it this year. The organisers are optimistic at the moment that something will happen, but it certainly won't be the kind of event that it has been in the past. And I mean, I think that those of us.
Bricks is asking if I'm going to Scareback Weekend, and I will probably not this year.
No.
I don't think it's almost ethically right to go anywhere. It's not something we have to do. So that's my opinion. So I'm just staying home and staying safe. I'll plan on going next year, I think.
Well, that's my plan at the minute as well, to try and go next year. But
maybe I have a couple of more puzzle boxes, and I could do an exhibit of them.
Yeah,
I definitely couldn't do an exhibit of puzzle boxes where people try out my puzzle boxes this year. You know, touch.
No. You can try the puzzle box, but please put these gloves on first.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it could work. But no, it's a great shame. I mean, I don't know when we will see another show, even a cut down show, because a lot of these things need the visitor numbers to be viable. And okay, some things are more for charity and whatever, but even then, if you've got venue hire to think about, then
you've still got to cover your costs.
Yeah, exactly. And often the margins on those things are really quite small. So if you can only have 50% of the number of people, it's not going to happen, is it? Anyway, I better look back through the instructions and see where I've gone wrong, because I know I have gone. That's fine. I was just not paying enough attention.
We're hoping for Ruth to join us at Scareback next year, right, Ruth?
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah. I don't know whether or not my Lego spending habit would ever allow me to travel internationally again.
Maybe you just aim for the Perth show then, yes?
Yeah.
Just take a paddle boat.
Yeah, I know.
Have you been
that would be a long trip from Perth all the way down.
Have you been to any Australian shows, Ruth?
Last year I did visit Bricktober, which is the Perth brick convention show. I didn't exhibit in it, but I did go along with one of my friends and her kids. Which was really good fun. And there was some really nice exhibits there as well, like a really good range. So at some stage in the future, I will try and plan to show you something.
Do you know what that would be yet, or have you got something in mind?
I tend to get really carried away with my builds. So they start off small and manageable, and they just morph into my entire house.
You're speaking to somebody who has 77 blocks of Micropolis. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell me.
Oh, you're almost at 100.
Almost at 100? Well,
yeah.
What do you mean? 100 blocks? Well, it'll be a while yet, but
you can do it.
Not that far away, probably, but
yeah.
Although I am finding I'm not building as much Micropolis during lockdown because of I can't get to pad wall very quickly or at all at the moment. And there was an awful lot of basic parts like big chunky bits that go to make the base and things.
All right.
That the cheapest way of getting them was in a pad cup. And yeah, I can get them on Bricklink, but they're often a few pennies if I'm prepared to go for something that's secondhand and used parts. So I am doing that a little bit, but it's not quite the same as having lovely fresh parts from Lego itself.
Do you think the new base bricks for from the art theme will be usable for
I'm
Micropolis?
hoping so. Yeah, it looks like the Micropolis base is basically made up of a plate, a brick, and a plate.
Right.
The middle layer of bricks is where the Technic pinhole bricks go. So one of those, and then a plate either side of it. Now, as long as the plate has the Technic pinholes in the same position,
right, and not in the center of the 4-plate high.
Yeah, and I don't think it would actually, because that would be really stupid if they did that.
Yeah, then it wouldn't be in the system anymore, would it?
No, exactly. Yeah. So it's either going to be that as a
top or bottom.
It's either going to be that effectively you're getting that. So I think that's what they look like. So the Technic brick and then a plate, and then all you'd need to do is add a layer of plate underneath.
Which is simple enough.
You could use just one plate for that, couldn't you? Just a 16 by 16 plate underneath.
Well, you could, but that's an awful waste of a 16 by 16 plate.
Yeah, just get some 2x2s and put them in the corners and hope for the best. It should be reinforced enough itself, the new base.
I normally put the base is 2 bricks wide, so around the rest of the base where these bricks aren't is a 2 brick wide bit, and then I'll plate it with 2 by whatevers to make sure it's all locked together. I'll sometimes put a brick in the middle of that lot so that it's a bit. If you've got something heavy and you want to press down on the middle of it, a 16 by 16 plate in the middle is really quite bendy if you don't have any support at all. But apart from that,
so you don't fill in the bottom.
No, not solid.
Okay, so you make a wall around and then
Yeah,
because that's what the new 60 by 16 brick for the art piece is. That does also have like a center thing underneath.
Exactly, but the big question there really will be what price it comes in at and whether you'll be able to get them separately. Because if it's more expensive than
next year
buying the bits, it's still not worth it, even for the less hassle.
Right.
So we've really got to see how much they're going to be. I mean, it would be great if they did come in lug bolt, but from what they say, they're not making that many anyway at the moment. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait.
It might not be lug bolt 2021, but maybe 2022.
Just wait until they come up in a pab wall. It's fine.
They won't fit in a cup.
I know. Yeah,
it'd be lovely if you get 16 by 16s on a pab wall.
But I fold this in half. Oh dear. So yeah, I do miss the brick wall. I mean, until I'm not going into London regularly every month, I kind of think, oh, I didn't get that much pab. But now I'm thinking, yeah, I did actually, because I was probably in London minimum about twice a month, and because my way into London passes Stratford, which is where there's a Lego store, I used to pop in, see what they got. Sometimes it wasn't anything new or interesting, but I would always probably pick up 1 cup worth just to fill up on what you might call, parts I use regularly, but it's not happened recently, obviously. So.
RDF has asked, have we all seen the new IKEA Big Lek?
That's the exact same thing I'm searching for right now.
No, I haven't. Let's have a quick look.
Oh, it's cool. It's sort of storage drawers, but with Lego studs on the top.
Oh, yeah.
I'm entirely not surprised by that. I mean, it
was revealed last year, wasn't it, that IKEA and Lego were going to be working on something together.
Exactly, yeah.
And we've all been waiting to see what it's going to be. And I think it leaked last week or the week before. So it does look really really cool. Ooh, RDS just said there's a link in his Twitter.
Okay.
Cool. I'll check that out. I started searching it up. So I guess it's more like storage solutions for kid spaces for kids who build Lego and stuff.
But they're quite cool, I must say, because you've got your sort of single colour bit. So
yeah,
it's on promo bits. It's quite nice.
I must confess, we're so sad in London AFOLs. We have a channel on our Slack sort of conference thing that is called Storage, where the nerdy amongst us discuss storage options for Lego. And something was posted in that the other day, going, I'm reluctant to jump onto any one storage bandwagon until I know what this IKEA Lego thing is and if that's going to be any good for me.
Well, I must admit, I was upset last year. I just sorted my storage out, and then IKEA announced they were going to be doing something. It's like, timing, man.
I know.
But to be fair, it looks like IKEA's doing their own little set as well, which looks quite nice.
Yeah.
Oh, IKEA Lego. Oh, nice.
I'm hoping that it is genuine Lego bricks, as they have worked with Lego on it. So
yes,
it scares me that I can't see the Lego logo on the front of that box.
Now then, Mr.
It's on the side of the
Legolamaniac.
box. It's on the side of the box. It's fine. It's fine.
Mr. Legolamaniac, would you care to show us what's sitting in front of you there?
I've been showing it for a while, haven't I?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I've been looking at the chat and talking to the camera, and
It's all at once. This is my latest puzzle box that I released, and it's sort of more of a silly box than any of my other ones, as this is my tribute to the great JC from Small Brick City, who's always obsessed with having toilets everywhere. So this is the best representation of his channel that I could come up with. He was extremely jealous of Jacob when I built Jacob from BrickBreaker this puzzle box based on his logo.
That's very cool.
The cake box. And JC's, he got really jealous and wondered where his custom puzzle box was. So spent a long time thinking what would best represent him. So here's the result of that.
Are you sure you spent a long time there?
Oh, yeah. long time figuring out. A very difficult person that is. I definitely didn't ask Cass, and she immediately said, "Aloo."
No, it's nothing to do with me. No.
That's definitely not what happened.
Definitely not.
No.
So much so I don't even remember saying that. And then he said, "Well, it's all your fault, this puzzle box I built." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah, it was your fault. I can't remember what I said from 1 week to the next, let alone months ago. So.
Galgid says I need to build a bigger plunger for it. Yeah, the box includes this tiny plunger that you can plunge.
At the end of your video that shows that the way you're plunging that thing is just hilarious. I have to watch it several times. You don't need a bigger plunger. That's the perfect size plunger for it.
So it has a few names. It's either the JC Throne, or I call it the Leaky Throne as a more generic name.
Yes.
Because while solving it, this thing spits water at you, basically, or small Lego pieces in the form of 1x1 round tiles.
Excellent.
So as soon as you start with it, which you do here, by pressing the flush button. Oh, it's stuck.
Take it apart, mate.
Get the plunger out.
There we go. Okay, now I can do it. Let's see. Whoop. And immediately see water falling out. If I shake it some more. There we go. I will just continue doing that throughout solving while you move it around.
Excellent. It must be quite tricky to put back in try to solve its state then.
Yeah, it takes like 15 minutes to just fill it back up.
10 minutes to solve and 15 to put it back.
Yeah, like you have a room here, which when you open it, spits Lego at you. Let's see. Oh, I hadn't filled it. Oh, sorry about that. Oh. That's anticlimactic. All right. Oh well. Yeah. And yeah, you just continues solving it. Different places.
Excellent. Unfortunately, JC's gone very quiet, hasn't he, on his Lego channel?
Yeah, yeah. So we haven't heard from him in a while. I guess he's made about 2 videos this year. One in the beginning of the year, and then one in the middle, saying he's safe but can't get to his studio, as JC is in Singapore, basically. So so he's been quarantined or locked down in his house away from his studio, which is in another city.
I think he's in another country actually, because
Oh,
he
really?
does a lot of work between Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. Is that? No, that is in Singapore, isn't it? I'm being an idiot.
No, that's in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I think his residence is Kuala Lumpur, but he works in Singapore quite a lot. And at the time of lockdown, he was in one place, and Annie, his partner, and all his Lego was in the other place, and he hasn't been able to move between them since. So,
Right.
whether or not he had a permanent place in both places, I don't know, or whether he's having to stay with people or whatever. But it's obviously not much fun.
He had also been very busy starting a new company, so
Yeah.
he was already busy before the entire lockdown was going on. So who knows? I don't think he's seen this yet, and no one's really heard from him. So we'll see if that ever happens. My original plan was to, before even revealing this, to just send it to him, and hopefully he would like solve it on a stream or in a video or something. That would be hilarious. But
Yeah. Oh well. C'est la vie.
yeah, it was fun to make.
Cool. Yeah.
It's like, if we solve it, how do I solve it? Oh yeah, like that.
You can't even remember yourself.
No, sometimes I have problems remembering how I solve things. There's another compartment that spews Lego out when you open that. That room there.
But it's all in good taste. It only ever spews out clean water, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
look,
is there any
it's
brown bits or
clean.
yellow bits?
And then you have this part, which I've improved since the video actually. If you open this and then get it all the way. Oh, it's still not all the way out. Come on. I'm gonna help it with. There we go. There we go.
Yay.
Oh wait, this plunger has a white piece on it. Why? Where did the red go? I'm not sure.
He's stuck in there somewhere.
It's because I couldn't find a red piece that had a hollow stud.
Right. I don't think there is one actually. I might be wrong, but
I think there is like a 1x1 round with hollow stud.
are you sure in red?
I'm not sure, but yeah. Well, my digital designer says that it exists, as I've used that piece.
Which one are you using? LDD?
Oh, Studio, which
No,
is hooked up to Bricklink, basically.
That's a bit more sensible then.
A little, although I have found pieces that Bricklink are telling me that exist in those colors, but don't actually, because someone has added the wrong pieces into the catalog.
Yeah.
Or wrong colors.
Unfortunately, one of the very first, before I started building much Micropolis in real bricks, I did do a little bit with LDD, and in one mode, I think it's expert mode, ironically, you use expert mode and it will let you choose any piece in any color.
All right.
So in my then ignorance, I decided to choose one of these pieces. One of those.
Yeah, 1x2 slope.
With that thing on the end in transparent, which does not exist. And I built the whole building around it, and it doesn't exist. And I'm like, when I came to buy it, I couldn't understand why it was like saying, "Oh, well, you can't find this piece." And then I looked properly, and I was like, okay.
That's why.
And unfortunately, it was one where I couldn't really use anything else instead. Like somebody said, "Oh, use a bracket and cheese slopes and stuff," and it wouldn't have looked right. Basically, it wouldn't have looked like my vision. So I decided that was going to be virtual only and never going to be built unless they all of a sudden come out with that part in transparent. You never know, but I'm not holding my breath.
I wouldn't think so.
Have you done much? Do you do much of your designing in digitally, Nate, or is it mostly bricks?
Nowadays, most of it is in studio because I find it's easier to do it that way rather than going, oh crap, I've not actually got one of those. So I'm going to wait for a bricklink order to come in, design it on Studio, and chuck a bricklink order out. It's much easier that way around.
Yeah.
And also means that I don't end up buying elements that I think I might need and actually don't. So in the long run, it works out quite well.
Yeah. It's only
Don't
fairly.
get me wrong, I'd love to be at a stage where I had a mass of every type of brick available to me, so I could just go into my room and start building. That'd be amazing. But that would be a very expensive thing to have.
Sure. I think I'm very much someone who designs from the bits I've got mostly. So I do have, I mean, I've not got a huge collection. It's basically these 3-4 drawers. That's it. Compared to some people, that's not huge. Compared to others, it's quite a lot. I appreciate, but I'll tend to look at.
That's how I used to be fair. I always used to be, right, well, I haven't got that bit, so I'll find another bit that I have got to make it work.
Yeah.
But then when people start asking for specific things, you can't always do it.
Yeah, sure. When you
need to do it in the bricks that you need to do it in.
When you get commissions, that's a different kettle of fish altogether. So yeah, I agree that would require you to be a bit more.
This is it.
Trying to build still. And how is Ruth getting on with her train? Is she still there?
Yeah, the train's all finished.
Uh-huh.
I've got the first little section of the station done.
Right.
But I think that's enough for me. I've got 17 more bags, or 7 more bags left in order to finish the station, but this is bag number 9, all finished, and I've already done the castle, so I'm starting to flag a bit.
I'm sure you are, yes. Well, we've only got about 4 minutes left on this stream, so a bit of a wrap up now. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody, both in the chat.
Right, thank you for having me.
And on the stream itself. Just one final thing to show you, if you haven't seen some of my habitats that I build for sig figs and Lego minifigures. It started off with basically building habitats for collectible minifigures, but then I thought to myself, I want a way to display some of the sig figs that I've got, because sometimes they sort of sit in one of my mocks or you know, wander around my city, but they often get not lost, but I can't find them easily necessarily. So for all the sig figs I've got, I've now built a habitat like this.
Most important habitats.
Mr. Legolamaniac with his little cat Vega, who sadly hasn't made a personal appearance this time. So he's got his time machine there and his important crystal, obviously. And obviously the top hat. Are you going to put the top hat back on just briefly for us?
Hello.
There we go.
I don't have Vega, but we do have this lovely piece here from Monkey Kid.
Very nice.
Doesn't focus on it, but
yeah. And then we have Ruth here from Adora Build with her little dog Puppy.
Yes.
Now she's a big fan.
He's snoring on the sofa.
A big fan of Friends, so I made this partly out of one of the old Friends bakery sets or something. Can't remember quite now.
It was a cafe, yeah.
Yeah. So that was quite fun.
Cafe, I think.
Now, sadly, I don't have a sig fig for Nate. I don't know if you've got a sig fig, Nate. Have you?
I do. Where is he? He just lives up here.
There he is.
Ah, right. He's relatively easy to
Hollywood
build.
focus on him.
Oh,
Banana
yeah. Very good. So if I'd had one of Nate, I would have built him a habitat as well. And then finally, here's me and the Masterpiece Gallery being interviewed by Beyond the Brick about my So
nice.
There we have a little one at the end. So as I say, it's 1 minute to go, probably even less than that. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. And
yes,
thanks
for the invite.
Yeah,
it was lots of fun.
Now the next person along is going to be Brikx Studios. Let me see if I can quickly pop a link to their channel.
Legolamaniac's already done it.
Yeah.
Oh, my glamorous assistant has already done it. Thank you very much, Legolamaniac. You're a star. So do enjoy the rest of the 72-hour stream if you've got the energy to watch it all. I'll be popping in from time to time, but I do have 1 or 2 other things I've got to do today. So Might just be
probably
briefly.
a playlist at the end as well. You can just do marathon sessions, watching everything.
And there's my alarm just gone off for 12 o'clock. So there we go. Thank you very much, people. We'll say goodbye for the moment.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. See you later, guys.
See ya.
And